Welcome to Free Favor. This is our daily devotional. I'm Luke and Breedlove, and this is my buddy Marcus. Marcus summoned the Holy Book of Knowledge. Marcus, open the Holy Book of Knowledge to John 6, verse 5 through 11. John 6, verse 5 through 11 reads, When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming towards him, he said to Philip, Where should we buy bread for these people to eat? He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, It would take more than a half of year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite. Another one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far would that go among so many? Jesus said, Have the people sit down. There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. So the first thing to take from this scripture is that Jesus asked a question as a test. Clearly, he already had a plan to feed the people. And he didn't expect it to come from buying bread. But of course, his disciple did not know that. He only knew that it would take almost a year's worth of working to feed all these people. But Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, stepped up and said, Hey, here's a boy and he's got 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But how far is that going to go? Jesus said, Man, you guys have no faith. Jesus took the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and he gave thanks. He prayed and gave thanks. He multiplied it to feed 5,000 people with prayer. What do you do when your bank account's empty? What do you do when you want food? Do you multiply your wealth with prayer? Probably not. When you want a new car, do you do it through prayer? Probably not. When you want your health to be better, do you do it through prayer? Probably not. This is a powerful scripture. It tells you that you don't need money. You don't need money. You need prayer. You need faith. You have favor. Use it. I know it's hard. These disciples were with Christ every single day. They saw the miracles over and over and over again. And they still had doubt. They still didn't believe. They were still concerned that they weren't going to have enough. How many times have you walked into a store and you saw the guy standing outside? We all know the guy. He's there every day. And you know he's going to ask you for $2. But you only have 5. So you don't give it to him. You don't even make eye contact with him. You pull up to the stoplight and the guy's standing out on the street corner with a sign that says, Need food, hungry. How many times do you look the other way? How often do you sit in the car and don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look? He's looking at me, he's looking at me. Tell you a quick story. I was at work taking a look at a client's vehicle, and there was a homeless guy who was walking across the street, and he walked right in front of the car. And I rolled the window down and asked him if he was okay, and he said, "Hey, do you have a couple of dollars so that I could get some food?" So I said, sure. I grabbed my wallet and I only had $100. So I gave him the $100 bill. And he said, thank you. There's a gas station right next to the dealership that I work at. So the gentleman went to the gas station and I did my little route in the car with the client. And I come back and the client said to me, why would you give that guy $100? I said, because I didn't have two. And he said, you know, he's only going to use that to buy beer and liquor. And I said, well, whatever he does with it, it's on him. My job isn't to tell him what to do with it. Once I put it in his hands, it's his. He can do whatever he likes with it. I don't get to control what he does with it once I hand it to him. That's what gifting something is. It's giving it to someone. Now it belongs to them to use. Well, he went next door, he bought 2 hot dogs and a Gatorade, and he came back. He actually spent $4. And he came back and he found me and he gave me my change. I tried to get him to keep the rest of the money and he would not do it. Now, clearly, I'm not saying that this is the case with everybody that's asking for help. But what I will tell you is if someone's asking for help, help them. Help them. It can't hurt you. It is not yours anyway. It was gifted to you. And once he understands that you aren't worried, you're not hanging on to it, you're willing to do his work and his will, he will give you more of it to do more work and bless more people because that's his will. Live in the life that he's ordained you and have joy. Marcus, take us out.